Super keyword. Yeah, what is super keyword? It calls the base class constructor. Super keyword. Right? What is super keyword? It calls the base class constructor. Okay. What is the main property? In class, every constructor has super keyword in the first line. Yeah, this is a note. Every constructor has contains, right? Every constructor has super keyword in first line. It contains super keyword in first line. Default it is. Okay, that's why every constructor it calls a base class constructor. That is defaultly it calls base class constructor. The following, it should be in the first line. When you write super keyword, it should be in the first line. That is the rule. Okay. What is the rule? If you want to write explicitly super keyword, what is the rule? It should be in the first line. Okay, that is another rule. Are you following? Yeah. Now we write, see, first construct a class sample. See this. Now I am writing default constructor. See this. Now I am writing default constructor. System.out.println. I am default constructor. Okay. Of sample. Default constructor of sample. Right. Next. Yeah. See, we are writing two constructors. One is default constructor, means no arguments constructor. One is parameterized constructor. I want to print this value. How to print plus x. You know, right? Same, I want to write one more class subsample. Same two constructors I want to write. See this class subsample. Now I want to write class subsample extends sample. Same two constructors again. What is this constructor? Is subsample. I am default constructor of subsample, right? And also one more constructor. This is also subsample. I am one para constructor of subsample. Okay, two constructors we have. See this default constructor, one para constructor, and also default constructor of subsample and one para constructor of subsample. We have. Now I will write main class. Yeah, class main class. See this. Program execution starts from main. Public static void main string arguments. Okay, guys. First, I will write sample constructor. Sample s equals to new sample. Guys, tell me which constructor will be executed. If I write sample s equals to new sample, which constructor? First, this constructor will be executed. I am default constructor of sample. Once save this. Okay. This is Java online one, right? Now I want to write Java online one. Save this. Okay, prg 27.java. Okay. Once go to the command prompt, drive cd Java online one, right? Compile. Okay, how to compile? Java is a compiler. prg 27.java. Yes, compile. Java class name. What is the class name? Main class. If I write Java main class, see it is showing a default constructor of sample. If I write one default constructor, if I write one more constructor here, sample s1 equals to new sample of 10. If I write new sample of 10, which constructor will be called? You know this, guys, one para constructor, right? Save once, compile and execute it. prg 27 Java main class. I'm default constructor of sample. I'm one para constructor of sample. Yeah, I'm not going to write this too. Okay, now I will want to write subsample class. See, subsample ss equals to new subsample. Okay, now what is output, guys? If I write subsample ss equals new subsample, which constructor will be called? Yeah, we are calling default constructor of subsample. Already I told you, right? What it contains. Every constructor has super keyword inbuilt. Default constructor. What it calls default constructor of sample. Now what we will get? First this constructor. I am default constructor of sample. After that, I'm default constructor of subsample. We'll get that, right? See, if I write subsample ss, what will be the output? Check it once. prg27 Java main class. See this. I am default constructor of sample. I am default constructor of subsample. Good. If I write one more constructor here, same this object, right? Subsample ss1 equals to new subsample of 10. We are passing parameterized constructor, right? When I call parameterized constructor, we are expecting, does it execute this one para constructor of sample? We check it, guys. Here we are passing system.out.println, right? Before this line, what it contains? Super keyword again. What it contains? Super keyword without parameter only, inbuilt default constructor. What it calls again? This constructor calls the same class default constructor, right? This class same base class default constructor. One check it. prg27 Java main class. See, I'm default constructor of sample. I'm default constructor subsample. Next, I'm default constructor of sample. It is calling, right? It is not calling one para constructor. What to do, guys? Already super keyword will be there. I will override. I want to override. How to override? Write one more super of 10. If I write super of 10, what will happen? Already existing super keyword, it overwrites. Okay. Now it doesn't contain super keyword. Okay. It overwrites that. I told you in every class constructor, super keyword will be there. Okay. Now what is super of 10? Now it calls a one para constructor of sample, right? Once execute, yes. I'm default constructor of sample, default constructor of subsample. I'm one para constructor of sample and I'm one para constructor of sample. Clear this? How it executes super. Okay. What is the rule? Super keyword should be, this should be in the in the first line. That is a rule. Okay. Super should be in first line. Line. Okay. If you want to write explicitly, that is the meaning. But every constructor has super keyword in the first line. But if you want to write explicitly, if it this should be also, that super should be also first line. Write this program. Yeah, next program now. Now multi-level inheritance. I will write three classes. One is class grandparent. Okay. One is class parent. And also class child. Three classes. Okay. What this class contains? See, class grandparent contains three blocks again. Static, non-static, instant. See this. Now I am writing static block. I am static block of grandparent. And also non-static block also I will write. See this. Now I am writing non-static block of grandparent. System.out.println. I am non-static block. Okay. Grandparent. And constructor. I will take one more constructor also. See this. Grandparent constructor. Three blocks. Okay. See here. System.out.println. I am constructor of grandparent. Okay. See three blocks, right? Static block, non-static block, and constructor. Same, these three blocks I will write in all the classes, guys. See, now I am writing this is parent. I'm static block of parent. I'm non-static block of parent. I'm constructor of parent. I will change to parent constructor, right? This is a constructor. Same for child also, right? Static block of child. I'm non-static block of child. I'm constructor of child. Yeah, if I execute now, without writing main class, what will happen? We check it, right? PRG 28 of Java, right? Now compile Java is compiler. Before that, I will set the path of, see, JDK 1.5. I will set the path of JDK 1.5. Okay. I have set the path of JDK 5, right? Now Java C is the compiler, PRG 28.java. Invalid method declaration, grandparent. Yeah, sorry, here it is child, constructor of child, right? Compile once, still parenthesis missing, C small here. Yeah, see once. PRG28.java, no errors. If I run Java only grandparent class, right? Only which block will be executed? Only static block of grandparent. If I write Java parent, what will happen? Two classes, two static blocks. You did not write extend, right? Now I will write with extend. Parent extend, see this. Before extend extends, it's a grandparent. Okay. Now child extends parent. Okay, multi-level inheritance. See, once compile again, PHP28.java, once execute. Java grandparent, only static block of grandparent. After that, it is checking for main method. Next parent, see, I am static block of grandparent, I am static block of parent. If I write Java child, see, I am static block of grandparent, parent, and child. If I call that method, three classes will be loaded and the static blocks will be executed. Now I want to write a main method. I want to create object for these three classes, right? Class, main class, is this. Public static void main. Program execution starts with main. String arguments, right? Yeah. Now guys see, if I write a grandparent class object, grandparents g equals to new grandparent. Now I am writing grandparent g equals to new grandparent. What will be executed now, right? We discussed right earlier. What is if I execute this grandparent g equals to new grandparent, that content, static blocks, everything will be loaded. Static block, non-static block, and a grandparent, right? Now once execute this, RG28. Yes, right? Java class name is what? Main class. Now see the output. I am static block of grandparent. I am non-static block of grandparent. I am constructor of grandparent. Now guys, tell me if I create object for parent, what will be executed? Now I am writing parent p equals to new parent, right? What will be executed, right? Right? Static blocks first, right? What is the first static block? You know that static block of grandparent, next static block of parent. After that, how non-static blocks will be executed? Non-static block are constructors. We check it now. See, PRG28 Java main class. First static blocks, see this. After that, non-static block, immediately constructor will be executed, right? Here, see, non-static block of grandparent, non-static block of parent, and constructor of parent. You understood? Immediately after the before non-static block, constructor will be executed. See this. Now, if I create object for child class, now I'm creating object for child class. Child c equals to new child. What will happen? First, all static blocks will be executed. After that, non-static block constructors, non-static block constructors will be executed. Once compare prg28.java, one series Java main class. See all static blocks. After that, non-static block constructor, non-static block constructor, and non-static block constructor. Like this, it will execute. If I write one line, all content, these three classes content will be loaded. Okay, understood how it executes? Okay. Next one, guys. See differences between local variables, instance variables, and super variables. Nothing but this variables and instance variables. Local, this, and super variables. Okay. We write a program. See, I have declared class sample. Now I'll declare one variable here. Int x equals to 100, y equals to 200, z equals to 300. Okay. Now I want to write a super class for this, right? Subsample extends sample is a super class. Now I want to declare here also one variable, that is int x is 10 and y is 20, two variables, and also one function I want to write, void function 1. Here also I want to declare one variable, that is what, int x equals to 1. Okay, we have three variables here, x 100, y 200, z 300. Subsample extend sample. Int x is 10, y is 20, void function 1, x equals to 1. Now I want to print these values. Yeah, see how I am printing. System.out.println. Here I will print. See this. What is x value we are printing? What is x? I want to print x value, and this dot x value and super dot x value I want to print. Print x value, guys. What is x? Okay. What is this dot x? Now I am going to print this dot x also. I will write here this dot x. Yeah, what is super dot x? I want to print super dot x here. Print super dot x value. What is super dot x? Okay. What is x value? What is this dot x and what is super dot x? See, now I want to write a main class. Without main you can't execute, right? Class main class. Program execution starts from main. Public static void main string arguments here. Now I want to write here. I am creating object for subsample class. Why? Because I want to execute this function, right? Subsample ss equals to new subsample. Okay. ss dot function 1. When I call ss dot function 1, this method will be executed. What is x value? You know, guys, that is a local priority. It gives x is 1 only. What is this dot x? That is 10. Right. What is super dot x? We get that super dot x is 100. Right. We have differentiation. Right. Once execute prg29.java. Once compile, Java is a compiler, prg29.java. Java class name. What is the class name? Main class. I have written main class. See the value. X1, this dot x and super dot x. Now same way, y values I want to print, guys. Okay. Before printing, I will write, see. I want to give some division here. Now I want to print the values of y. Okay, how to print the values of y? Same. System.out.println. I want to print the values of y, guys. How to print the values of y? See, this is y value. Okay, what is y? What is this dot y? Not what is super dot y? I want to print super dot y also. Yeah, guys, what is y value? First it checks for the local variable. There is no local value, then it takes this instance value. Okay, non-static, right? This non-static variable, non-static function. Directly we can call. Y also we get a 20, right? This dot y also we get 20. What is super dot y? Is there super dot y? Yes, we have 200. Now what is the answer? 20, 20, 200 we get, right? prg29 Java main class. See this 20, 20, 200. Same for super dot z values. Okay, what is z? We check it. See, now I want to print z and this dot z and super dot z. So what is z value? What is this dot z value? What is super dot z? Okay, is there z? There is no z. It checks for instant. Instant also not there. Then it takes directly super dot. Okay, what is this value? 300, 300 and 300. That is super dot z value and all values. See this. Z is 300. This dot z is 300 and super dot z is 300. See, if there is no local value, then it checks for instant. If there is no instant, then it checks for super. right? Priority checks like that. If it is there, we can differentiate. Here X also, here also X is there, right? How to differentiate? X means it gives the priority to local. There is not available, then it takes instant. Clear? How it checks the values, right? Yeah, next one is